I said this when he got drafted, and a lot of people gave me flack for this. I think Ben Simmons shoots with the wrong hand.
I think Ben's form left-handed is worse than his form right-handed.
He shoots over 70% of his shots that aren't jumpers with his right hand. Floaters, layups, hook shots, layups, dunks. He is a right-handed player shooting with the wrong hand.
We all know Ben Simmons as an NBA All-Star, a cornerstone for the Philadelphia 76ers, a dominant defensive presence, and the poster child for NBA player who could take a leap if they could only shoot the basketball. That has been the knock on Ben for his entire career so far, and now in his 4th season in the NBA, Ben has still attempted just 9 3-pointers all season, which makes one thing very clear. Ben Simmons has yet to develop a 3-point shot, and we have to ask, why? Is it lack of practice? Was he just born to be a walking brick? Or is something deeper going on here? Because what if I were to tell you that Ben Simmons is shooting with the wrong hand and that the proof surrounding this theory is everywhere? Don't believe me? Well, that's what today's video is all about. We're going to look at the facts, and I know this might seem far-fetched right now, but trust me, just watch. So what's up guys, Mike here, and just very quickly, please leave a like on this video. It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm, and I would very much appreciate it. Also, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. And with that said, let's get into this conspiracy theory right away, because I want to immediately give some credibility to the possibility that this is a true theory, that Ben Simmons is shooting with the wrong hand. So that means let's take a look at an article from the New York Daily News that was posted back in Ben's LSU days. In this article, the author, Kevin Armstrong, gives us a story about Ben's ambidextrous playstyle that is much more telling than originally thought. I say this because here's what the article says. Ben credits his dexterous displays to his father's sleight of hand demands during his childhood's development stages. Father told son to dribble and shoot lefty. At LSU, Ben fires all his jump shots left-handed with ease, but finishes right-handed at the rim most often. Then comes the kicker, a quote from Ben himself. "I think I was supposed to be right-handed." Now, as this video continues, we are going to dive deeper into Ben's LSU days, but before we do that, I just want to show you a few eye-popping clips. Watch while at LSU, Ben should obviously be going up with his left hand, but instead, for some reason, goes out of his way to go up with his right hand. If he really was a left-handed dominant player, would he be doing things like this? Again, we're going to dive deeper into that. I just wanted to introduce those clips as soon as possible. So now, headed back to the quote where Ben admits that he thinks he's supposed to be right-handed. Already, this is huge, but we've just begun to scratch the surface of this conspiracy. If I'm being completely transparent here, there have actually been several childhood athletes that have switched their dominant hand early on and have had plenty of success. One notable and huge example of this comes in the form of none other than LeBron James. LeBron was born left-handed, and he was actually asked why he switched from shooting left-handed to right-handed as a child, and his answer went as follows. "I have no idea how I became a right-handed basketball player. I think maybe it was because of Michael Jordan, Penny Hardaway, guys that I looked up to growing up. Seeing those guys shoot righty, I guess I'll shoot righty. I'm pretty much a left-handed guy." And if we take a look right here, we can see that LeBron does indeed write with his left hand. However, and this is very important guys, athletically, his dominant hand has become his right hand. This makes all the difference in the world compared to Ben, because as you can see, Ben Simmons also writes with his right hand. However, again, the difference between the two comes athletically, as I'm about to show you, and I really need you guys to stick with me here because the following evidence is one part of a much bigger picture. With that in mind, it is very important, so here, let's watch as Ben, who shoots left-handed, throws a baseball with his right hand, does a shooting motion on national television right-handed, and even bowls with his right hand. To put this simply, Ben does pretty much everything athletically still with his dominant right hand because he is right-handed and never fully committed to switching to his left hand. Meanwhile, LeBron, a man who also changed hands and now shoots with his right hand, he can be seen throwing a baseball with his right hand. He can also be seen bowling with his right hand.
Might as well throw a strike. Don't nobody else believe in you, I do.
Pretty hilarious, and you get the point. But like I said, these clips just set the groundwork for what I want to show you. Because what's most important here is that Ben Simmons, right in front of our eyes on an NBA basketball court, predominantly shoots the ball with his right hand in non-jump shot situations. The proof of this is practically everywhere. All you have to do is watch a Philadelphia 76ers game to see that Ben favors his right hand, even when he really shouldn't. And I don't have the NBA stats for how often Ben shoots the ball with his right hand, but I do have Ben's college stats, which if anything are more telling as they were earlier on in his development. What I mean by that is that we've seen plenty of times young right-handed players will favor their right hand sometimes to the extreme, and left-handed players will do the same because they haven't polished up their games yet. They haven't spent several years in the NBA working on their offhand, which is why it's so weird and so telling that in his first 25 games at LSU, with SB Nation tracking which hand Ben used on layups, dunks, floaters, runners, and hook shots, the results for a left-handed shooter were flat out shocking. As you can see on this graph, this report concluded that 81.5% of the time, Ben Simmons took a non-jump shot with his right hand. This same report shows that Ben took just 3.8% of his shots with his left hand. 3.8%? How is that possible? All in all, out of 265 non-jumpers, Ben shot 216 with his right hand, 39 with both, and just 10 with his left. A very telling statistic, as it shows us that Ben naturally favors his right hand a lot. And I hope you guys really paid attention to the LSU clips that just were played in front of you, because as you can see, time and time again, Ben Simmons puts himself in situations where he should be shooting a left-handed shot. If anything, I would say a right-handed player would definitely be taking a left-handed shot in these situations, but Ben, time after time, shoots with his right hand. I am not kidding at all when I say that if Ben was a right-handed player headed into the NBA draft, scouts would say that one of his biggest weaknesses was not using his left hand around the rim. The fact that he's a left-handed player and he took shots like this is just mind-blowing. Wrapping this all up though, we have to ask ourselves, what does this all mean? Well, personally, I believe that Ben Simmons should have grown up shooting with his right hand, and if he did, the potential for Ben to be a better shooter would be much, much higher. We can even see some of that potential in these two clips, as here is Ben knocking down a post fadeaway with his right hand.
Simmons an opportunity to make Gordon work on the defensive end, and he got it done.
As you can see, that was a very smooth looking shot. It looked pretty natural for a left-handed shooter, as does Ben's form at the free throw line when he shoots right-handed. As you can see, Ben has taken some right-handed free throws when warming up, and again, for a left-handed shooter, this looks pretty great. Unfortunately though, at this point in time, it's almost definitely just too late for Ben to deconstruct his entire jump shot and start shooting with a completely different hand. But honestly, if we take a step back, what would be the harm in trying? As it stands right now, Ben basically doesn't take any threes, he rarely takes any mid-range jumpers, and he shoots just 62% from the free throw line. What I'm saying is, when it comes to his shooting, things really can't get any worse, and there is precedent with a player changing their shooting hand mid-NBA career with Tristan Thompson, because as you can see in this first clip, Tristan Thompson used to shoot with his left hand, but then after the 2013 season, a year that saw him shoot just around 61% from the free throw line, Tristan decided to change his shooting hand in the offseason and proceeded to shoot around 69% from the line the very next year. So it could happen. Ben Simmons still could switch his shooting hand. It's not impossible. I do think at this stage in his career, however, it is unlikely. And to finish off this video, I do want to give a huge shout out to the Ringer's Kevin O'Connor, who to my knowledge created this theory and has provided some very solid proof for it. Kevin's research was a huge part of creating this video. Please go give Kevin some love on Twitter, follow him, check out his stuff on the Ringer. It's great. Listen to his podcast. The man knows his stuff. I could not recommend following him more. And with that said, guys, thank you for watching today's video. Remember to please leave a like and subscribe and turn on post notifications if you're new. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that